Hi Libra. Welcome to March 2020. This is your tarot and astrology scope. Mercury remains in retrograde until the 9th of March. The same day that it goes direct, there is a full moon in Mercury's sign Virgo. Mercury co-rules Virgo and Gemini. And this is an interesting thing that happens. It's very indicative of the Virgo energy, something being right on time, occurring at the right point, the right moment. And this Virgo full moon is going to be directly opposite Neptune in Pisces. Pisces is, of course, your wellness sector, and the Virgo full moon is, of course, the sign of wellness in general, although Virgo is, of course, your 12th house. There is a deceptive energy to this, and I'm going to be very, very blunt. It will either occur to do with a secret within the family or a secret within yourself. A moment of realization, a moment of clarity, finally seeing something that you've just overlooked for so long. Perhaps you have been deceiving yourself in some way, particularly if there is some substance or some vice you have that is really eating away at your health, even if you think it is getting you through the day, even if you feel like it is helping you out, you're possibly compromising your success. 6 of Wands. Now, Virgo energy is also very meticulous. It's also very perfectionist. Ooh, the star. Oh. Okay. So the cards are very much leading towards Mercury being in Aquarius. Aquarius being your 5th house, which rules romance, which rules creativity. And in a lot of ways, Libra, when Mercury goes direct in the 9th and stays in Aquarius for another week, you get a second shot at something that you want to make happen in this world, an element of wish fulfillment, something that you really want to see that makes your heart feel full. Now, Pisces season is, as I say, much to do with your work ethic, with the way that you operate in terms of your day-to-day routine, your money. And I do feel a little bit that, Libra, there is something that could do with a bit of a down deposit, putting some kind of effort or some kind of money into something. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Into something that could generate more money in the future, that could generate travel opportunities. For a lot of you, there appears to be a new job on the horizon, one that you've really wanted, one that involves travel or relocation, or simply involves a lot of adventure. And it's quite a big change. Death card. You are going through a period of transformation, and the Virgo full moon will make sure that before we get to your supermoon, you will be psychologically, mentally, emotionally in a better position. Queen of Cups. Ooh, okay. Scorpio energy, very strong. Interesting. Okay. Also the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, they seem to be very much in a sense of adventure, in a sense of exploring, in a sense of carefree time. They have got a lot of, a lot of personal power and a clear direction that they want to go. Whether you're a part of it depends very much, I suppose, on what you're offering. The Sun and the 2 of Wands. A lot of Libras are moving to happier times, to happier partnerships, to happier jobs, to happier locations. A lot of changes going on for Libras. Venus is in your 8th house, which is why Scorpio energy is coming through so strongly, because Scorpio rules the 8th house, meaning you're feeling in love, a lot more intense, a lot more desire to bind with someone, a lot more desire to understand how somebody works on the inside. 3 of Swords. And believe it or not, Libra, if you want to go into something new, you need to be very, very aware of where your heart is still broken. Ace of Cups. Because some new love, some new venture, something new, and it's very likely love, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, is going to heal that broken heart of yours. Now the Two of Swords has come out to, let's clarify. Ooh, Two of Cups in the Moon. By jeepers. Okay, you guys have got a very interesting March. Underneath Page of Pentacles, let's see if I can move all of these in, because you guys have a very interesting story. Wow. I was a bit nervous for you for a second when I saw the Three of Swords after that Death card. I thought, okay. You're very indecisive about where, whom, or why you want to romantically bond with someone. And I think the full moon shows you where you've been a little bit in denial about certain love languages, certain love techniques, certain love relationships. It appears to me, Libra, that you see an old love in a new way, or someone who you previously would have run a mile from. And now you see that perhaps a lot of this was to do with a mirroring technique. A lot of what you were seeing in somebody else was to do with a feeling within yourself that you don't quite like. Because believe it or not, Libra, I often find with you guys that there is something within you that is not compatible with you. Do you know what I mean? There's something within you that you can never quite get to grips with, and you can never quite explain. And oftentimes it's just part of the shadow side that we all possess. And of course you are the sign of the scales. You like to weigh things up, balance them out, but you so seldom do. And one thing that a Libra could not stand is being called unfair. And it would really rattle you to know that perhaps the way that you handled a situation in a relationship, be it recent, be it long ago, be it current, really was not fair, either on yourself or on the person. Either on yourself or on the person. Do you like my little get out of jail free card there? That you like yourself. So, love looks incredibly promising, but it is not without looking back at something first which gives you a bit of pain, or some sort of personality trait, quirk, or feeling that makes you feel a little bit in your Three of Swords moment. The Ace of Cups is telling you that with Venus being in Taurus, you can feel a lot more intensity in terms of the more uncomfortable emotions, jealousy, envy, regret. And all of it exists within this to make you aware of what love really is. Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups. There is a person in your life, or about to come into your life in March, who seems to be very romantic, very sensitive, very sweet, possibly sometimes a bit naive, a bit of a dreamer, sometimes on the flip side, a bit melancholic, a little bit self-pitying. Every knight has his dark side and his light side. Every person does in general, even those ruled by the sun. Even those with a happy, adventurous disposition oftentimes go through dark periods, much like you. Now, what I would say is that very likely the Two of Cups and the new moon, the moon card, represent the new moon in Aries on the 23rd in your partnership zone. It is very likely that if you want to manifest a new relationship and there's no sign of one in the periphery, get very clear on what it is that you want and appreciate that a relationship which did not work out the way that you anticipated and really scuppered your direction, Learn what you don't want. And in turn, understanding what you do want in a partner, even if you can't quite make your mind up, listing it will make it that little bit easier. And if you can't quite decide, go a bit more general and let the universe do the rest. Mercury retrograde until the 9th means that if you really want to reconnect with a Queen of Cups character or a Knight of Wands character, it's more likely that you will reconnect with a Queen of Cups rather than a Knight of Wands. It's more likely that you will reconnect with someone who has great emotional depth as opposed to somebody who is fleeting, attractive, charismatic, but lacking in substance or sustainability as far as relationships go. And while the fire signs look a little bit hot and cold, a Leo could very well be the partner you've anticipated or be the person that breaks your heart. It is unfortunately anyone's guess. I feel a little bit as though the fire signs may be causing you some strife, and that the water signs may be giving you reason to salivate. Something very exciting here lies for you with the water signs, or people who are very in touch with their emotions. It could be sun, moon, or rising. As far as the earth signs go, oh no, even they've got the water sign underneath. The water sign with you. From small seeds, mighty acorns grow. Queen of Swords, King of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Opposites attract. Writing people off once may not be the case where you're looking now. You may be looking at people that are very much different from your previous types, or you may be seeing people that you once regarded as incredibly unsuitable to suddenly be quite suitable. Work-wise, I do think that March poses a very good opportunity for living out some kind of dream or achieving some kind of recognition. Very much what work you have put in over the last 6 months shows as some kind of opportunity that is a beginning and an ending all in one. It seems quite extreme. There is a lot of start and stop energy that is pursuing you though. And in making choices, I think that a lot of that is because of you. I think that a lot of that is because you are in your Three of Swords head because of something that once seemed like everything is now nothing. And that there is, for you in particular, no communication where you would like there to be, or no decisive action where you thought you would like it to be, and then maybe thinking you would have rather made a different choice, a different decision, said something different. You wish you'd said something at all. As we move into Aries season, you get that choice. The beginning of March is so promising for work. And when things start lining up in your work life and your career life, Libra, I think you take stock of your relationships and see where maybe some have suffered because of that energy itself. Maybe with the Knight of Wands, you were kind of all over the place, non-committal. You thought the grass was greener in many areas, particularly in work. And now you're seeing that maybe you have dropped the ball and you need to regain respect. Or maybe it's because in a relationship you had a wandering eye or wandering feet, and now you're realizing that there maybe was a loss there incurred that you would rather have not. You would rather have had that support at this point. Mercury retrograde has reconnected a lot of people. I know for me personally, and this is my Venus is in Libra, so this could possibly be to do with that. I think it's more to do with the water sign aspects of my chart. But I have heard from quite a few old flames, a lot of exes, and it is almost scary how some of them were just the last people I ever expected to hear from in this lifetime. And time and perspective really makes you see people differently. Even if that's, you can see people that broke your heart as an Ace of Cups, in the sense that you find a newfound friendship, or you realize that you to that person were the Knight of Cups, or you realize that you were better off, different things. It's very much here as though there's quite a lot of reflection and a connection to the past in some way. And I think for a lot of you, you cry your last tears over someone and maybe find somebody new, but I also think for some of you, you have that reconnection that Mercury Retrograde has been bringing into a lot of lives. And that is not to say that it's going to be the most toxic person that you've heard of. I just have to say that because I noticed in the comments a lot of people say they hate their exes, but I have to be honest, and this is a Scorpio talking, I'm very passionate, but the opposite of love is not hate, it is indifference. And there's not a lot of indifference here. The new moon in Aries on the 23rd is going to be exceptionally revealing. I can't wait to get into all of this in the extended, but I'm going to draw some oracle cards first. Ooh. And I hope you don't mind the lighting. I wanted it to be a bit more ethereal and magical and a bit more authentic than just the ring light. Ooh. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. I'll show you. It's a very beautiful card. The mountains and the rocks. The idea of paradise. It's kind of like that Belinda Carlisle song. Heaven on earth. Heaven is a place on earth. Very like that. I'm going to draw one more. There is something kind of heavenly, I think, about the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Moon. Even with the Two of Swords, if you're a little bit back and forth and a little bit unsure, test the waters. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? A warrior spirit. It's quite cool because the warrior woman is a lady holding a sword, and in the traditional tarot, the Queen of Swords is your energy, is your queen. And I think this is very indicative of you being in your power and feeling very much like you can take on the world and take on something brand new. And I think that's very much what you're doing. I think you are ready to take on the next step. And of course, in being a warrior, you need to know where your weak spots are, and you need to figure out how to work around them. So for the animal spirit, you've got the raccoon, you've got the frog, you actually got a few more other ones, so I'm just going to pull them out. The black egg, the cosmic egg, and the otter. Now the otter is that water sign energy, and so is the frog. So I feel that the water signs are quite big in your life in March, and that would make sense in Pisces season. They're around you. They're everywhere. So the otter is that playfulness, while the frog is more about cleansing, and they become overworked and undernourished. So I think a lot of you really need to be careful about your work-life balance, particularly earlier in the month. Towards the end of the month, as I say, I think things really pick up in love and romance, and I think that's where the otter energy comes in. The raccoon is an interesting one, though, for you guys. Really, really, really is, because it's very shadowy. And I think this is you. I think this is you kind of in the shadows in Pisces season. Particularly with that full moon in Virgo, because although full moons are so illuminating, the Virgo energy with that 12th house, it's kind of is like you're hiding. You're hiding your feelings, you're hiding your talents, you're hiding your creativity. And it's because you don't feel like you're enough. And I feel a little bit with the raccoon. You're hiding in the shadows. You're not coming forward. You're wearing a bit of a mask. And you're questioning for sure who you actually are. And if something's real, if it's not real. This is really asking you to come out of the shadows and be who you are. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius was really asking you to examine what your talents were. It was really asking you to look at how you create things. Have you created a situation that you don't like? Have you created a relationship that you don't want? You know, your part in things, it's important to examine. Because the black egg is all about speaking your truth, your authentic voice. And I think for a lot of you as well, that Knight of Cups energy, Two of Cups energy is speaking from the heart. We've gone way into your extended, but that's okay. We will get more into that in the extended Libra. So much to say. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.